Now let's create the load combinations ourselves. So I'm coming here and I put add new combo. And this is how I define my load combinations, guys. Again, it's really up to you, but I try to have a name that is properly addressable for me, what type of load combinations I have. So I am using comp u, which is ultimate, and then mention G1, that is gravity 1. So as I said, I have dead, and also I have some superimposed dead load and wall load, but I'm choosing dead. And okay, in Australian standard, for example, this is 1.35. So again, don't worry about this factor. This is your local standard. I'm just showing how to use it. So I will put add here. This is just for dead load. And then the next one is up to me. I can go for add a new combo or add a copy of combo. If I choose this one, exactly the same coming here, but I need to change this name myself. So comp u g2. Then I'm coming here. So okay, this is 1.2, for example, modify. I need to press modify, or I'm coming here and live load 1.5, and I press add. Yep. So this is how can I create it. So if I have a snow, if I have other loads, for example soil, I want to add here, I can add it right now because soil is always there if you have any soil pressure. So you come here, and again, based on Australian standard, the conservative factor is 1.5, so I will keep it. I will put 1.5 here for soil pressure. So this is my second gravity load combination. So I may have uplift of the groundwater or anything else. I need to add them and create them. Like for example, a combination with a snow loads. So let's move on and create other load combinations for lateral loads. So I'm coming here, I'm adding a new combo for ultimate earthquake load. So I will put EQ X1. I have few combinations for earthquake in X direction and earthquake in Y direction. I personally prefer to see them individually because it's easier for me to check which one is a critical design load combinations, for example in my design later on when SAP automatically using those load combinations in design. So you can see that even I have access to my current load combinations. I can use them if I want, but I will go for my standard load cases. So dead load, I'm just using again Australian standard. So I'm putting here live load factor is the same as mass source is 0.3 for typical live loads and 0.6 for storage facilities. So I'm putting here, and then I'm coming to earthquake. So earthquake XP is 100%, and then I will apply earthquake YP with 30%. Yep, here. So this is ComU EQ X1. I will select this one just for myself if I want to do it later easier. So I have this one. Now I can come, I said add a copy of combo because many of them are here. I simply need to change what I want. So I'm coming here, Control V, and put this one EQX2. This time earthquake is 100%, but YP is in negative direction. So I will put minus 0.3, and I will modify. I don't add. So now it's changed. So this is my X2. You see, if you want to have all those combinations for XP, XN, YP, YN in positive and negative direction, you have just 16 different load combinations for major X and minor Y, and the same 16 load combinations for major Y and minor X. All standards are different, but some of them recommend that you don't need to apply accidental eccentricity for the 30% earthquake in normal direction. That means you can have two other load cases, actually load patterns, with no eccentricity. So EQX, EQY. And then you can use those here. It really backs to the importance level of a structure, the sensitivity of the analysis that you are doing. I personally sometimes accept this minor actually change in the result, and instead of creating another EQX and EQY with no eccentricity, I'm using positive or negative eccentricity in normal direction. It really back to your judgment, guys, based on the risk you want to take in your model. The model should be reasonably accurate and also reasonably practical in terms of creating and the time you want to spend on the model. You need to judge yourself. I'm not giving you any kind of instruction here. This is a disclaimer for all my videos. What I'm saying here is just some suggestions. You need to take the responsibility of your design, and you need to figure out what is best for you in terms of risk management, in terms of cost efficiency in construction and also in design. You need to save the time for your modeling as well, so don't make it too complicated. So what I'm using here is XP and YP together. So I'm not going for YN, so creating two more load combinations just for XP. So the next one, I'm coming here and add a copy of combo, and I will change this one to X3. Now I'm just changing this to XN 100%, and then coming here and change this one to YN 30% positive and modify. I forgot to press modify here. Be very careful, always review what you do, guys, because we are human, we easily can make mistake. There are ways to review our combinations later. I will show you. So this is XN and YN. I will press OK, and then again add a copy of combo, Control V. This is number 4, and then I have XN positive, and then I have YN negative, minus and modify. So currently I'll always apply the major earthquake with positive factor. Now I need to create the same for negative factor. The easiest way is coming to the similar combination you want to use and change the factor to -1. So you can start from top and add it number 5 and then 2 for number 6. So I'm coming here, add a copy of combo. This is number 5, and I'm coming here for XP and just change this one to -1. The rest are okay. Yeah, and then coming to X2 and add a copy and change this one to 6. Again, just change this one to -1. The rest are okay. And you can see when you press OK, you see that which load combination is the source of the new one you created. And this is the last one. Add a copy of combo and changing this one to 8, and change this one to -1. Modify. So you see we have just 8 combinations, skipping another 8 combinations for earthquake, for eccentricity. So as I said, you can just have the 30% with no eccentricity and use it, or do this one, but it really back to your local standard. So this is for X. We need to do the same for Y, so I skip that one. I'm going for wind load combination. So I'm coming here, add new combo, I will name them comb U W X1, and then I'm coming here, I choose dead factor 1.2, and then live based on Australian standard. The load factor you need to put here is 0.4 for normal, and for storage is more. So currently we have just normal live load, so here I put this one, and then I have WindXP. Again, wind calculation in Australia is based on Ultimate. I don't need to apply any factor here. It's back to your local standard. So I'll add this one. So this is for WindX. I'm choosing this one, Control C, OK, and then I add a copy of combo. It's easier for me because the others are here. So this is WindX2, and I'll change this one to WindXN. There is no plus minus factor, as I said. So this is WindXN. I have two more load combinations for WindX before creating WindY, that I can come here. I can add a copy of combo, and I put this one WindX3. Another combination generally we have for WindX is when we are maximizing on stability and uplift. So I need to delete these, and I need to change this factor to 0.9. Again, this is based on Australian standard. Please check your local standard. So I have this one for WindXP, and then I can add a copy of combo as of this one and create WindX4 and change this one to WindXN. If you remember, I told you that we may have roofed wind load, internal pressure, all of them should be added here one by one. Just I want to simplify this video in terms of time and applying all loads. So I'm just showing you the principles, but you need to see exactly what you need based on your standard. So this is 4 combination for WindX. We have the same for wind in Y direction. Again, I'm leaving this by now. Those are briefly the combinations we have for Ultimate. Now what we have for working stress and serviceability. What's the difference between working stress and serviceability? Working stress is actually a fixed reduction factor comparing to Ultimate. So working load is generally 67% of Ultimate. That means when you want to change all those to working load for example, designing your pile foundations or pad footings for actually soil bearing capacity check, what you need to do, you need to come here, and for working I'm using W. So I'm coming here, add a copy of combo, and I'm putting here comb W G1, and here all I have is just factor 1. So this is that. And for this one, add a copy of combo, comb W G2. So select this part for myself for future. So here all of them is factor 1. That's full soil pressure. So this is for comb WG2. So I will just show you one of the combinations for earthquake, and then I will show you how to create load combinations for serviceability, limited stays, and then finish this video. So to do this, I'm coming to combo X1, for example, add a copy of combo, and I will put here comb W EQ X1, and all I need to do, I need to change these two factors to 67%. So I'm coming here, change this one to 0.67 and modify, and now I'm coming to these and change this one to again 67%, which is about 0.2, modify. So that's how I create my working load for earthquake, and I will do the same for other actually 16 earthquake load combinations in X and Y altogether. So I'm doing one for wind load, and then I will show you how to create serviceability load combinations. So for example, want to change this one to one of my working combinations. I'm coming to add and putting here COM-W wind X1, and then I'm choosing those factor to 1. You need to check what your actually load combinations are. I'm just putting some number here. The important one here is this should be 0.67 modify, so that means this is 67 of the ultimate. So I press OK. So this is for COM-W. What we need to do for serviceability. Serviceability is different with working stress. In working stress, you have a specific ratio of between ultimate and working stress is always 0.67. Serviceability back to the return period of earthquake or wind. For example, if your annual probability of accidents for earthquake or return period for earthquake based on the importance factor is 500 years, for serviceability could be 25 years or 50 years. So based on that 25 years, you may end up with a different earthquake factor. The factor doesn't have to be 0.67, could be 0.2, could be 0.3, could be 0.25, or any other factor like that. The same for wind. It's not exactly 0.67. For serviceability, I will do the same. I'm just creating few of them. So I'm coming here. I will put this one S, for example. S, I'm updating G2. I'm not going through all of them, so I put COM-S G2, and I change those to 1. Generally, for serviceability, gravities are the same as working. So I change all of them to 1. So this is COM-S G2, and I'm doing this just for earthquake and wind. So I'm using this one, add a copy. So these factors are correct. So here I'm putting COM-S EQ X1, and then this factor, I assume for example for this job is 0.25. Modify, and for this based on 0.3 is 0.075. Modify, and this is for earthquake and this is for wind. Again, add a copy, coming here, COM-S wind X1, and then dead and live the same. Here say 0.4. So you see that those factors are different, not necessarily the same as working stress. So those are the name we have. So you see, if this is for serviceability, is that for gravity combination, earthquake combination in X or Y, and wind combination for X or Y. The same for working stress and ultimate. This is generally what I use. The other thing you need is envelope of the combinations. Sometimes you just want to see what is the maximum internal force of an element as a worst case scenario for all load combinations you have. To see that one, you need to create the envelope of that group of load combinations. So we have envelope for ultimate load combinations, for working load combinations, and for serviceability load combinations. Let me show you how to create it. You need to come here, add a new combo. So we can put the name here, envelope U. This is for ultimate load combinations. So far, when we created load combinations, we always used linear add, but there are some other options here. So linear add means all of them will be added together and linearly, and the result would be accumulation of all those loads together, dead and live and other load cases. Envelope is checking the maximum and minimum of the group of loads or load combinations you are adding here. And there are some other options like absolute or SRSS for a square root of sum of squares for response spectrum. We using envelope, and then we start adding all ultimate load combinations here. So I'm not doing all of them, I'm just showing a few of them and then leave the rest to complete the model, and then show you the result in the next module. So here is COMU G1 add, and then COMU G2 add, and you need to do the same for wind and earthquake. So for example, COMU X1 add and COMU WX add. You need to do this for all ultimate load combinations that you want to have in that specific envelope. Sometimes you don't need all load combinations. You may want to see the maximum load due to earthquake. So to do this, for example, let me press OK. If we assume this is envelope U, I will create another load combination for earthquake. I can come here, for example, mention envelope EQ only. As I said, guys, before, there is no standard naming here. It's just a matter of being comfortable and clear about what you're creating, and also helping others to figure out exactly what has been done if they, for example, get back to this model after a few years for any review. So this envelope is not just for load combinations, you can use it for load cases as well. So currently my focus is seeing the maximum internal forces or maximum displacement due to earthquake. So I'm choosing just earthquake load cases. I'm coming here and add them one by one. So you can do the same for working stress or serviceability if you want to see, for example, the maximum lateral displacement or maximum reaction of the pod or and bearing of the pad footings for working stress. So this is for earthquake, and now we have this envelope as well. I will complete the rest of load combinations and also the rest of envelopes, and I will show you in the video of the next module before we start running the model and doing the analysis. So this is basically what I wanted to share with you for creating load cases and load combinations. In the next video of this session, I will talk about how to apply loads on the building on different elements.